Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Zultanky, and I'm a clinical psychology postdoctoral fellow with Behavior Therapy Associates located in Somerset, New Jersey. I wanted to create a brief video today to discuss something that is near and dear to many of us, and that is sports, and how we have all been affected by the cancellation, postponement of seasons, and what do we do when sports return and what will happen and what will that look like in the future. So to do that, I wanted to show you all something that I use clinically and in my personal life, which is the ACT matrix. This is created by Dr. Kevin Polk and colleagues. And what it does is show how we can move toward how we can move through our different quadrants. And in this quadrant specifically, how we can move toward things that are of value to us. And I'll show you a different example of that right now. So, for the ACT matrix, everything below this center line here is related to internal thoughts and sensations. Everything that we think, everything that we feel. Down here in this quadrant, these are the things that bring meaning to our lives. So what do we value? Who do we value? Above this line includes the things that we experience outside of our bodies, our environment, things mostly behavioral experiences that we have with others or with ourselves in our environment. So everything to the right half of the both quadrants include things that we're moving toward, whether they be behavioral or, like I said, values. So things that are bringing meaning to our lives. Everything to the left are things that we're moving away from. So these are the uncomfortable thoughts and feelings. Sometimes we refer to this quadrant down here as yucky thoughts or stinking thinking. So we'll talk more about that right now. So why do we play sports? For many reasons, right? We love the bonding opportunity, the teamwork atmosphere, health, achievement, financial gain, a sense of competition amongst others and with ourselves, financial gain, pursuing goals, enrichment, a sense of purpose, and there's self-improvement, both physical and mental. And then as a spectator, we're achieving our own purpose, our own sense of meaning and team morale based on how our teams are doing, how they're performing throughout the season. So what are those yucky thoughts and stinking thinking, as we call them? What comes up for us when we found out back in March, April, May that, and even now, that seasons are being canceled, games are being postponed, and we're not able to spend the time with our team, our loved ones that we previously were? Some of those thoughts might include, I'm missing entertainment. I won't be able to relieve my stress. For many of us, even though we might not be professional athletes, we might be on an intramural team or even just working out in a gym. And now all of those things have sort of been removed from our lives or temporarily paused while we adjust to this new social distance norm. And what will sports look like when they return? I'm worried about this. Sports has been my life. I've lost my sense of direction and purpose. I'll never get these sports seasons back. And now this is something that is especially apparent with high schoolers who are planning to play in college athletes who are planning to go into the professional realm of sports. These are individuals who require these seasons in order to have scouts find them and be ready to go on to the next level. So they're missing out on these opportunities right now. Working out and practicing alone stinks. I can't do it. Many athletes are part of team sports rather than individual. So they require that team atmosphere. They might need, if you're playing a soccer or volleyball, it's very difficult to play as one person, right? We need the team. So what can we do about that? And then finally, I'm so frustrated, right? Many of us are experiencing some sense of frustration, whether it be with the social distance guidelines and return to play, whatever that is, we're all experiencing different levels of frustration. So, like I said, this left side is there are the away experiences. So what do we do to try to move away from the uncomfortable thoughts and feelings that we're experiencing? Because as people, we prefer to not feel that discomfort in any facet of our lives. And it's very difficult to sit with that experience. So what do? We stop practicing, we stop working out, we avoid talking to others, and that might include our teammates, our coaches, our families. We don't want to tell them how we're feeling, so we don't engage anymore. We might stay in bed, we might give up on healthy habits and start, engaging in poor eating choices or using substances, staying up late, increased procrastination, increased screen time, having poor sleep hygiene and healthy habits that way as well. Acting out negative emotions. So if we're frustrated, we're now taking this out on others. Also displaying frustration with others. So our family, our coaches, our teammates, those who are closest to us, and then with ourselves as well. And these are the points where you start to notice that there might be a problem, where your teenager or your college athlete is staying in their room all the time. They're on their phone constantly. They're watching videos of their previous games or their previous performances, and they're just ruminating on that experience of remembering when they were playing and how all of this is so unfair and it's being taken away from them. And that might be as much information as you're able to get out of the person that you're thinking of, and really how can we help them address this as we move then to the right side of the matrix, where what do we do to reconnect? How do we reconnect to sports? Well, we can start by accepting that we can still move toward what we care about, even though things are much different and I am experiencing a sense of frustration and disappointment. We can educate ourselves on the new rules, the safety regulations. We can practice in a way that is engaging in social distancing and also being safe. We can also reconnect to why sports are important to you. So we can remember the sense of competition, the strength building, the team, the fitness atmosphere. All of those things that are really important to us and help us connect to sports, that's where we want to be. And finally, encouraging athletes to stay focused on what they care about. So in the middle, I have this circle that says me noticing. And if we sort of zoom out, which is kind of what I'm asking everyone to do at this point, right? Not stay so zoomed into, I'm so frustrated, this is so unfair, I can't play, or maybe, hey, this is time for me to rehab through an injury, so I hope I have time and before sports come back. Whatever the thought process is, we have to take into consideration that this is all based on the individual's perception. So that me noticing piece is that things may change, the situation might change, these thoughts and feelings come and go, but the individual is consistent. They remain, even if they're not an athlete, they're still the same person they were. Even if they're not the highest achieving individual on a team or the number one ranked athlete, they're still a person who is experiencing different thoughts and feelings, who has values, who has individual goals and things like that. So when we're thinking about the person in the context of sport, we can help them move back to what their sense of purpose is and how they can address this new realm of sports and new realm of play by connecting to these values, these experiences that we're all seeking at this time, especially when things are so socially distant and uncertain right now. So in terms of how to help individuals with connecting to the matrix and moving forward when they're feeling kind of stuck, we have different options. There are different groups that are available. There's individual training and counseling, clinical work. There's also that's more geared specifically to sports. And that's something that we do at Behavior Therapy Associates. There are also local community groups that or teams that might be able to help with really understanding and feeling that sense of purposefulness again and connecting back to it. So if there are any questions or if you have an interest, please feel free to reach out, and I would be more than happy to walk you through the matrix individually and maybe help you find some connection, back to your love of sport and your sense of, needing that purposefulness right now. So take care and stay safe. And I hope everyone has a great day.